Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. I'm honored to open the third annual U.S.-Georgia Strategic Partnership Conference, and I would like to thank Nancy Lindborg and the U.S. Institute of Peace and also our many friends at the Heritage Foundation for hosting us today. This event is a perfect gathering for us to share our thoughts about the future of my country with the best and brightest of the Washington policy community. More importantly, being with you all offers a unique opportunity for me and my team to hear your recommendations and advices. It can never be said often enough that your great nation has stood with Georgia every step of the way since our independence. The U.S.-Georgia strategic partnership is today at an all-time high level, and we have the bi-partisan support. The partnership has broadened and deepened both geopolitically and economically. Georgia has been honored with visits by Vice President Pence and, more recently, U.S. Security Advisor John Bolton. Both gave us the benefit of their thinking on strategic environment, the importance of the U.S.-Georgia strategic partnership, and how we can elevate the value of our relations to the new levels. During this and other meetings, we came to a clear understanding of obligations expected of us, as well as the value of the contributions to secure our mutual security. As a result, Georgia realized long-term strategic assistance on expanding interoperability and training through expanded Noble Partner engagements. Noble Partner is a Georgian armed forces and U.S. Army-led exercise intended to support and enhance the readiness of my country, the U.S. and participating nations during a multinational training operation that takes place in Georgia. We also are grateful to Congress and the White House for recognizing our more immediate security needs by providing more security cooperation to safeguard our peace and stability. The National Defense Authorization Act offered welcome support for Georgia's sovereignty and security, while Congress focused attention on the violations of Georgia's sovereignty by Russian Federation's illegally military occupation that they started in 2008. Last month, the House Foreign Affairs Committee passed the Georgia Support Act. As you know, this act, with bipartisan support, is designed to protect sovereignty against Russian aggression and will punish any adventurism with sanctions, among other important actions. The Georgian people are extremely grateful for the U.S. government's strong support for our territorial integrity in the face of continued Russian aggression. In the past year, the Overseas Private Investment Corporation continued to expand its investments in Georgia, including for financing critical infrastructure and associated infrastructure on the coast of the Black Sea. These projects promise to transform Georgia into a regional, economic, and transport hub, offering the shortest route between Europe and Asia for high-value cargoes, connecting markets of several billion consumers while opening landlocked nations of at least 120 million more. As they say in the investment world, this is a substantial return on investment. All Georgians are extremely grateful for OPIC's long-standing confidence in Georgia, where it provides financial assistance to many projects. This confidence, plus the reforms that we have undertaken successfully, have attracted many new investors, including to our transport infrastructure, airports, power generation, the hospitality and tourism industries. For those of you who know Georgia for a long time, I ask you to think back just a few years back when we just getting Georgia. We are infrequent flights from a small handful of European cities with a major headache. I have experienced this myself. Contra that today, Georgia today enjoys more than 100 direct flights daily from many parts of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And we are working very intensively to start the direct flight between the United States of America and Georgia. Georgia is committed to an expansive economic vision based on three-part strategy. First, we will leverage our geography, natural advantages, and stewardship to sustain economic growth that has been averaging 5%, which is 2 times higher than in our neighborhood. According to IMF, Georgia will stay as a leader in terms of economic growth during the next 4 years. We seek to achieve inclusive growth that benefits all of our citizens. This is not unrealistic, and already this year we are ahead of projections. We seek to be not just a regional hub, but a crossroads linking Asia and Europe. Our well-educated workforce has gone global, and we are currently reforming our education system through dramatic investment that will unlock the ability of our citizens to do even more. Under my leadership, we are taking the bold step of dedicating 25% of our national budget to education and human capital building in order to ensure our workforce can succeed in today's economy and for generations to come. Second, we will strive to become the gold standard in ease of doing business and legal transparency. Investment flows to opportunity where the barriers are the lowest. Georgia today is the country with the third lowest tax regimes in the world. It is rated as number 7 in economic freedom and as a number 8 in lifting the burden of government regulation, and we are rated as one of the top 20 European countries in terms of rule of law. And as you all know, we are number 6 in terms of doing business. Our successful assault on corruption is also well known. We are becoming a major free market economy under democratic governance and the rule of law. Third, Georgia seeks to be a full participant and a member of the global markets. We are trying to integrate Georgia in the global economy in the most efficient way possible. Our strategy is to make Georgia a regional hub for international business, logistics, tourism, education, and innovations. We have signed a free trade agreement with the major economies. And I add with particular pleasure that we are looking forward to increase our economic cooperation with the United States of America. I'm very happy to see the increased number of American companies doing the business in Georgia. Our aim is to increase the trade between two nations and at the same time to support American companies to increase their presence in our part of the world, which is regarded as the fastest growing consumer market in the world. The US-Georgia strategic partnership is at an all-time high level, but we must not rest. The world we all see is full of growing uncertainties. Old institutions are eroding. Familiar partners are experiencing upheavals that are redefining them. New actors with powerful capabilities are now active around us. Some states are failing, while others near political transition points. Each day I become more convinced that old strategic paradigms no longer describe the world we are entering accurately. It is just a world of uncertainty that the US-Georgia strategic partnership was created to address. When I look to the future, I see even stronger security cooperation rooted in enhanced Black Sea security architecture. I have seen even more American companies doing business in Georgia, taking advantage of our business-friendly environment and geographic location as a gateway to access Asia and Europe. I'm strongly committed to building on the US-Georgia strategic and military partnership by expanding economic ties between our nations. To that end, I'm very excited about the results of my visit in San Francisco and Seattle that preceded my trip here to Washington, and from Washington we are going to Dallas. We met with a who's who of businesses, venture capitalists, and policymakers to introduce them to the vibrancy and opportunity of doing business in Georgia, the gateway market where East meets West, where North meets South, and where traditions meet innovations. In every place, my message is very clear. Georgia is open for business, and we welcome our American friends to seize the opportunity that abound in Georgia and our region. We want more investments, more trade, and more of the US in Georgia. Rest assured that the strengths of our partnership will serve us well as uncertainty unfolds and new realities present us with unprecedented challenges and inviting opportunities. Our partnership is tailored for such a great vision, and I have no doubt that it will prove up to be the task ahead. Thank you.